Why is Rockstar being very secretive when it comes to releasing more, whether that be content, video, even like gameplay for GTA 6? That's a very interesting question, in my opinion. Could be multiple reasons why. So let's break it down, let's discuss, and let's see if we can come up with a theory as why I believe, why I think, Rockstar's being very secretive, right? And they're taking their time and dropping new information regarding GTA 6. Now, one of the big things is that we haven't seen yet. Obviously, we have the trailers that's showing, a story mode and the new characters that we're gonna be portraying, right, playing later. Um, but but we haven't seen actual gameplay, right? Just obviously animated cutscenes, etc. So that's very interesting about the gameplay aspect of it. You're gonna have probably those haters that be like, oh well, there's probably a lot of issues still potentially that they're trying to fix in the background and get that all sorted out last minute. But I don't necessarily agree with with that group of people and that line of thinking. I actually believe it's a huge marketing strategy that they're implementing, right? They're creating, they'll give us a little glimpse, little information here and there, and then boom, silence, right? And I think it's not done on purpose. It gets us intrigued, gets us interested, and gets us motivated and excited to, leaves us on our edge of our seat, like, oh, what are we gonna get next, right? Um, and it just keeps us all engaged and bringing us together to, keep talking about it like we do in this channel, right? Dropping all these videos, all these theories. That's a marketing strategy right there. I'm doing free work for them, right? Essentially. But it's very interesting, and I'm actually excited for when they actually do release actual gameplay, which gives us a way better idea of what we're actually going to be playing, right? Obviously. And so, but I think in my opinion they're going to be dropping specifically gameplay probably closer to the release date. I'm thinking maybe September, potentially maybe in the summer months that are coming up, June, July. But I think actual gameplay, I think probably like 2 months or a month before um, the actual release. And obviously they're gonna perfect it and the way they're gonna portray it. And I think it's just gonna take, it's gonna be over the freaking wall, right? Of just excitement and next level and things, because now we see now, right? You can see right now I'm playing GTA 5, and we're used to it now, right? You see all these little details here, on this freaking oppressor, right? You look at the details on the floor and everything. Just imagine all those little things that we're gonna see in the new gameplay potentially if they release it. Most likely they will, right? Like why wouldn't they? And most people they focus on the big things, how the character looks, things like that, realism of it. But I like to also focus on the small details. See on this actual footage here, the cities, the buildings. It's not as perfectly clear as I'm hoping it would be in GTA 6 release, right? So that's one idea of it, to be honest. But the other idea that's very interesting, that the reason why I think they're very secretive and they're not dropping as much as you would think, or hope or want, right? And I think mainly it's just to avoid massive leaks, because if they open up their, however they release information, that leaves them open to being vulnerable and being hacked, obviously, and people getting those leaks, and releasing it, and then it just creates a scandal and can really mess up their profitability and marketing towards the game release, right? So it makes sense why they're more secretive on this one. They want to avoid, massive leaks being dropped and just causing issues as a business standpoint. And honestly, for me, I'm not a big fan of like actual leaks. To be honest, if there's like an actual leak out there, I try to avoid it just because I want to experience, the whole entire release and the build up to it, and just know as minimum as possible of information I can, as far as what's real. One thing is to speculate and to have your own thoughts, but one thing is to actually have a league that's actually verified, and then you're like, damn. So like now you know peace, and maybe you're disappointed, maybe you're not, but I'd rather wait until everything is dropping, then boom, you get to experience everything for the first time. Kind of like spoilers of the movie. You don't want to be spoiled. You're excited for the movie. Why hear spoilers right before? Why do that to yourself? Especially if you're excited for it, or just you just try to have to avoid it. Because it's impossible. Social media nowadays, you'll scroll and you'll see it, and it's like, damn, like, try to go past it fast, right? At least I do. But yeah, man, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, that's why another reason why I think they're very quiet about it, secretive, and very strategic in how they release information and when they release it. Because they're just expecting. We all are, to be honest, that this game is going to be one of the top selling of all time, right? It's gonna. I mean, I hope so. I mean, we don't expect anything less. The expectations can destroy if not met, right? So I try to not be too, too up there with my expectations. Try to be reasonable, but definitely, expecting it to be better. So I mean, can't wait. Take it one day at a time. See what happens. So yeah, man. Let me know what you guys think about that. You think I have a point? Do you think I'm up to something? I'm onto something, or maybe I'm completely wrong, or there's a different idea or a different reason why they're very secretive with spreading information, releasing information, dropping gameplay, you name it, right? And so yeah, man, let me know what you guys think below. We'll see what happens. We'll see. All right, until next time, guys. Thank you.